Hi, my name's Steve Large and I want to do this video about achieving an awakened state. Now, for me, it's when you have no thought in your head. Your mind is clear and you're fully conscious of everything that's going on around you. But your mind is not working, you're not in your mind, you're not labeling or judging anything that's going on around. You just connect with and accept everything as it is. And you see the magicalness of life and the earth we live on. Now, this is why I practice meditation. So, meditation for me is clearing those thoughts, to come out of thought altogether. So, for example, I'll think of something, I'll think, oh, what are you going to say? And when I do these videos, when that thought comes into my head, I ping it out. And I stay conscious. So everything I'm saying now is without thought. It's being fully awake, without going into my head and into my thoughts, without judging what I'm saying or questioning or deciding what's the best thing to say. I just let it flow through me without question, without being in my mind. Now, like I was saying, meditation is the best time to achieve this. So we quieten everything, and as the thoughts come, we watch the thoughts. Now, I like to practice sometimes. It's like that game whack-a-mole or whatever it is, where you hit the mole thing on the head with the little hammer. Now, I practice this with my thoughts sometimes when I'm lying there and I'm meditating and the thoughts keep popping up. I'll just bash them out. I won't judge them. I won't question them. I'll just see them and go think, think in my mind until eventually nothing comes up. And then I'll go with that moment's silence and stillness in my head, and this is awakening. Now, that pause in thought is when you're fully conscious. You're out of your head, out of your mind. So, what we try to do with meditation in our daily spiritual practices is extend this time out of our mind. And we help this to grow. Monks do this in monasteries, away from everything, where there is no daily challenges or obstacles to bring them back out of this state. We have life, we have the matrix, what we have to deal with, which is constantly bringing us back into our mind. It triggers us into thought. This is why we have to be careful with triggers and reactions. Because when we stay calm, it's bliss. I am not thinking of anything I am saying right now. Some of you might turn around and say, yeah, that's quite apparent. And some of you will understand what I mean. This is awakening. And this is the beauty. We are taught through education that if you're not thinking, you must be daft. It's not the case at all. We're not designed to think all the time. Our mind is there to use as and when we need to use it. If we need to work out how to get from A to B, make a plan. Stuff like that is when we use our mind and our thoughts. Not to sit there constantly talking to ourselves in our head, or constantly rerunning videos of the past or the future and predicting stuff in our mind. And this is not what the mind is for. This is an addiction that we all have, that we need to break. The addiction of overthinking. And I've spoke about this in other videos. So we need to be aware of this addiction. I get it, and it gets comfortable. The thoughts start off with nice thoughts. If something's gone well, you want to sit back and think of all the nice things that went well, and it's like, oh, it's great. But they turn, like any addiction, it draws you in with the positivity, and then it turns bad. That's the addiction of overthinking. It will draw you in with giving you a pat on the back. Don't overthink. Use your mind as it was supposed to solve problems. That's what it's for, to work things out. And it's a beautiful gift we have of the body, is the mind. as long as we use it correctly. Now, this is when we're asleep. When we're thinking, we're unconscious and we're asleep. When our minds are clear, we're awake and fully conscious. And this is what we try and achieve. And this is the best place to be. Because this is where there is no past, there is no future, there's only now and the beauty of now. There's no judgment of it used to be better or it could be better. You appreciate the now for exactly what it is. A blessing. You feel connected. You feel exhilarated, uplifted. You feel it blows you away. It's hard to comprehend and your mind tries to take over and start to judge it, but your mind can't understand it. It's too much for your mind. So your mind starts looking back for things to try and register it with. Oh, it's like this, it's like that. Don't try and judge it. Just accept the moment and accept the feeling of being awake. And practice this and achieving it longer and longer. Because once we all wake up, that's when the world becomes a better place. That's when the world becomes full of love and beauty. People not judging who's better, who's worse. People accepting each other for who they are, regardless of their colour, their stature, their class, or any other nonsense that the mind makes up or we've been taught for separation. We accept everyone for who they are and how they are, because the beauty is in their uniqueness as it is in yours. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. It's time for bed. Love and light. Thank you for all your support, and yeah, keep shining, stay blessed. Everyone is doing fantastic, and that's the main thing. Right, have a good morning, evening, noon, night, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Keep shining, stay bright. Thank you.